A 15-year-old in his bedroom brings NASA to its knees. Military systems go dark, and the boy behind it all can't even legally drive. How did a teenager from Florida penetrate one of the most secure networks on Earth?
His name was Jonathan James. Online, he went by Comrade. In 1999, while most teens figured out Napster, Jonathan was slipping past firewalls protecting America's defense infrastructure. He taught himself programming before puberty. By 13, he discovered he could reach through phone lines and touch systems that were supposed to be untouchable.
This story exposed a truth that haunts us today. The institutions protecting our security and our future in space were vulnerable to a kid working alone in his room.
Jonathan was born in 1983. His father brought home a computer when he was 6. Most kids played games. Jonathan took it apart to understand how it worked. By age 10, he was writing code. June 1999. Jonathan breached the Defense Threat Reduction Agency, part of the Department of Defense. He found a crack the security experts had missed. Once inside, he installed a backdoor and intercepted thousands of internal emails containing usernames, passwords, and military system details. For 3 weeks, he had complete access. August 1999. Jonathan set his sights on NASA, not the public website, the actual operational network at Marshall Space Flight Center. He downloaded software worth $1.7 million, source code that controlled life support on the International Space Station, the code keeping astronauts breathing in space. NASA had to shut down for 3 weeks, $41,000 in direct costs, but investigators were closing in. January 26, 2000. Federal agents knocked on Jonathan's door in Pinecrest, Florida. They found a teenager surrounded by equipment, hard drives full of stolen data, and handwritten network maps. Jonathan didn't run. He admitted everything. He said he did it to learn, to test himself. He never intended to sell the information or harm anyone.
FBI forensics recovered 3 gigabytes of stolen data. NASA confirmed the software was genuine, identical to operational ISS code. Jonathan had root access, complete control, like having the master key to every door. Chat logs showed Jonathan discussing his techniques online using the handle Comrade. He knew it was illegal, but seemed to view it as a game.
Some cybersecurity experts argued Jonathan did them a favor. He exposed catastrophic vulnerabilities. Others disagreed. Unauthorized access is illegal, regardless of intent. The law had to be enforced. There were also questions about whether that $1.7 million figure was inflated. Jonathan became the youngest person ever convicted of federal cybercrime in the U.S. He was 16 at sentencing. 6 months house arrest. Probation until 18. Banned from recreational computer use. For a boy whose world was computers, this was devastating. For NASA engineers, the breach was humiliating. A high school kid had walked through systems they thought were secure. The astronauts aboard ISS never knew their life support code had been copied. That trust is sacred. When it's violated, something breaks.
Think of computer security like a castle. High walls, moat, guards. Jonathan found a drainage pipe under the wall. Digital systems are infinitely more complex. Every line of code is a potential weakness. Security isn't just technology, it's people. Employees wrote passwords on sticky notes. Administrators were overworked, missed warning signs. If a teenager could reach NASA in 1999, what can criminal organizations or hostile nations do now with modern tools?
We know Jonathan illegally accessed defense and NASA systems, stole data, caused real damage.
We know he was extraordinarily skilled with no financial motive. What we don't know is how many others were out there, undetected.
Jonathan served his sentence and started a computer security business, trying to use his skills legally. Then, in 2007, TJX companies suffered a massive breach affecting millions. Investigators suspected Jonathan. He was never charged, but the suspicion crushed him. Jonathan's life ended in tragedy. He died by suicide in 2008 at age 24, still maintaining his innocence. The consequences of youthful mistakes, especially public ones, can be unbearably heavy. Cybersecurity remains critical. The techniques Jonathan used, social engineering, password theft, exploiting vulnerabilities, are still the most common attacks today. His case helped shape how courts handle juvenile cybercrime, but questions remain about balancing punishment and rehabilitation.
Jonathan James proved the walls protecting our most important systems are thinner than we believe. His story is a challenge. Build better defenses. Treat young people who make catastrophic mistakes more carefully. And remember that behind every hack is a human whose life will never be the same. The question isn't whether another Jonathan is out there right now, it's what we'll do differently when we find them. If you want to understand the case that haunted Jonathan's final years, watch the TJX hack, how one breach exposed 45 million people. It changed credit card security forever. This video draws on Department of Justice documents, NASA reports, and court records from 1999 to 2000. Some details are based on reported interviews. This is for educational purposes only.